Well, it's been a little bit of a negative day in the grains today, but not as bad as it could have been in the corn and soybeans. This is the daily market summary, and we're talking with Kenan Layden of agmarket.net. Kenny, you were telling me just before we got started that even though beans and corn had a mostly down day, they have recovered a little bit, but still to the negative side.
Yeah, so Wednesday trade, I think, has been driven a lot by the Trump announcement on the Iran conflict that's going to be announced after the market closes tonight. And with that, maybe the U.S. withdrawing all types of intervention that they're currently doing in Iran. And grains sold off, maybe some more premium moving out of there, maybe some of the oil support that we've been seeing in the soy complex and canola is being priced out of the market. Crude is currently trading down below $100 a barrel as we're talking, Dustin. But yeah, corn and beans were down hard, and during about the 10:30, 11 a.m. hour, they kind of started to come off their lows. But it was quite the departure in all corn, wheat, and soybeans that we saw yesterday after the report. They took it generally as positive news and traded up higher to end the day. And then headline news risk today is seeming to drag them down, even given that report. But it was good to see wheat and corn try to come back here at the end of the day. So we'll see how the trade moves into tomorrow after the Trump announcement and if there's anything of note. But yeah, we took it and the oils took it hardest today.
And I guess the question had been asked to me earlier by someone else, and I know oil market's not something we normally talk about, but let's just say the announcement would be, hey, we're pulling out of here. Everything's going to just kind of go back to the way it was. How long does it take for something like that to settle to maybe levels we saw before this whole thing started up in February?
That is a great question, Dustin. And I don't know if the U.S. pulls out. Iran still has control of the Strait of Hormuz, and they dictate the ship flow and the amount of oil getting out of that bottleneck within that shipping lane. So it's hard to say when crude does return back to normal, and what is normal. Is there a new normal? We were trading pretty low oil prices before this whole Iran conflict, and I don't know what the new normal will be, if it's going to be different. But yeah, it will be interesting to see. Right now, the curve on the oil is trading, near months pretty high. The deferred months, price more at that $70 to $80 level. So it'll be interesting to see. And then how the grain markets digest that. One thing that I talked about with Mark earlier was, managed money is really long some of these egg products, whether that's the soybean or the soy complex. Corn, they had a long position. Canola, it was pretty long. And wheat, they weren't negative in some of the contracts, which is always a win. But if they decide to unwind their position to move money elsewhere because they see it as a more attractive investment, that could put some pressure on the markets as they unwind those long positions. So that would be something key, I think, to watch here moving forward.
All right. Well, moving to the livestock side of things, cattle had a great day yesterday. Hogs not quite as good. What did we see come out of those markets today?
Yeah, it's almost the other end of, grains took it on the chin because of, a potential Iran news event. And cattle and hogs, some people see those as risk assets, kind of like equities. And that's why you hear the comparison between, you know, what is the stock market doing? That influences cattle. And at times I think that's true, and it's more because of money flow. So if people want to own riskier assets with higher return, cattle and stocks fall into that basket of assets to own. So cattle continued their move up today, a little softer than their highs from the day here at close, and hogs moved up throughout the day. So they were maybe beneficiaries of the news here moving forward.
All right. Well, thanks for the advice. If folks want to talk a little bit about what they can be looking at for protecting their markets in these volatilities, their marketings, I should say, in these volatile times, what's the best way to have these conversations with agmarket.net?
Yeah, just go to our website, check it out, and look around there and contact us if you're looking for any help.
All right, Kenan Layden's been our guest from agmarket.net. Thanks so much, Kenan. We'll talk to you again real soon.
Thanks, Dustin.